Hey guys, welcome to another edition of the Pod Stache, episode I think 3. I'm not sure, but anyway, we haven't done one in a little while, but this is our basically like a kind of a recap of what we talked about last time and a couple of other things that we're going to be talking about. Today we're going to be going briefly over Star Wars once again, just say if we liked it or not.
We're only a month late.
Oh yeah, a month late. We're also going to be talking about Oscars, and we're also going to be talking about the Suicide Squad trailer.
Yes.
But without further ado, let me introduce you guys. This is...
I'm Keith. Remember me from last time? That's about it. There's not much to me.
And
I'm Mike from last time too. War Room Entertainment.
So yeah. All right. So first off, let's talk about Star Wars. Overall? Did you like it? Were you disappointed? Was it everything you wanted?
I'm going to say I had a ton to say right after we saw it.
Right.
So I did a marathon. I was at the movie theater for about 24 hours from the time I got in line to the time we finally left the theater.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I stayed up, saw all 7 films. Yeah, it was a good experience. The day after, I slept, and then the day after that, we were supposed to have the podcast or Pod
Like the
Stache.
recap.
A recap, but it just our schedules conflicted. So we had a ton to say before, and now I'm kind of more calm about it. Everyone has a problem with the movie. A lot of people are saying it's combining too many elements of basically A New Hope and from Empire Strikes Back, just basically recutting it into a new movie with a female lead. And yeah, you can definitely see that. I mean, that's just the way it is. But at the same time, I think it's a great setup for the new generation. So it's like, okay, yes, the old generation has seen Star Wars, and yes, maybe some of the new generation has seen the old Star Wars, but maybe it's just too old school for them. So if we have to redo it, let's kind of, get a little nostalgic.
Like
and
a soft
reference,
like a soft reboot.
like kind of like a soft reboot, and introduce the old guys, give you some new guys, and make over $1 billion in sales and merchandise, and yeah, let's do that.
And also, just in case, this is definitely spoiler free. You guys should have seen it already. There's no excuse.
No. There's gonna be spoilers. I don't
Yeah,
care. You
yeah,
should have seen
just-
it. It's been a month.
Yeah, it's been way over a month.
Everyone's seen it like 3 times by now. It's the
Yeah.
third highest.
Okay,
rated
how
film of
about
all
if we
time.
talk about spoilers, we say spoilers first.
I guess.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I still say we should talk about spoilers.
Oh yeah, but what did you think of the movie?
So overall, coming out of theater, I was just stoked on new Star Wars. And my overall lump sum of it after everything set in is that it's an awesome movie, filled with a couple like plot holes and a couple of things I didn't like about it. From a whole franchise that's overall awesome, filled with a couple plot holes and things I didn't like about it. Now the thing about Star Wars that makes it a little bit different is that you have other mediums to plug in all the little gaps, such as the novels, such as even games now, comics. So those stuff that I kind of like figure could have been in the movie, but we're explaining later on, like a visual dictionary. Say at the very beginning, Max von Sydow's character, like why he was so significant from the beginning. Now there's a Poe comic book filling that in. So those stuff I figured made it a little bit incomplete as its own, but that kind of happens when you go over like a whole trilogy format in the first place. Each movie holds up a little less on its own because it's all about the whole overarching story.
Right.
And that's kind of where I kind of learned to settle with it. I saw a lot of stuff online. Max Landis being probably in the most heat for the movie with his comment about Rey being a Mary Sue character.
I didn't see that.
There's so many. He got some heat from that.
Dang.
There's been a lot of stuff going on from it. And I guess overall, those are probably my best worded of all the thoughts in my head about the movie in one, though.
We'll get more in depth.
Yeah, I definitely liked it a lot. And like I said in my non-spoiler review, where I didn't love it, but I loved the experience of going to the movie theater. And that's what I think where I definitely really appreciate this movie is just like the whole overall feeling of going to the movie theater, watching a brand new Star Wars for the first time in a long time, and being excited, just kind of being like part of the fan base and all that. It was exciting to me. For me, since I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, it definitely lived up to my hype. but it's still not enough to where I loved it. But either way, I thought it was a great introduction to this new trilogy.
It did what it's supposed to,
Exactly.
which left me more questions, wanting more.
Yeah,
And that's exactly what it was supposed to do.
There's so many routes they can take this.
I had questions going in, and I had probably even more leaving the theater. So either way, though, I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those movies where it was fun to be with the crowd because you're there and everyone's like, yeah, you see Chewbacca and Chewie.
Yeah,
Especially your crowd with everyone that obviously had a purpose.
Yeah,
Especially your crowd.
a lot of fans there, so it was cool. And then shout out to my boy Izzy for getting me the ticket there because that was cool. And then going with my cousin, that was fun. So
Yeah.
I will admit, I slept through a couple of the movies, Phantom Menace mostly until I saw Darth Maul's final battle. So that was good. Other than that, I was like whatever. But yeah, I don't know.
It's been a long time since there's been a movie that kind of had that cult following behind it. That just had a whole vibe, like why everyone's there.
Yeah.
I think maybe before this was Harry Potter was the last like big thing to get people that excited.
Yeah, or if you want to get even worse, Twilight or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean,
Hunger Games, I guess, was the big contender because it was the ending to that whole series.
Yeah.
But I mean, Star Wars, I mean, you can't top it.
Yeah.
And there's so many cool rumors going on now. It's like, okay, now I'm gonna say spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you don't want to hear anything about the movie, stop watching now and then tune in a little bit later
put a
when we talk
timestamp.
about other stuff. We'll put a timestamp. So, I mean, the big thing was, who's Rey? Why is she so in tune with the Force? Like, what is the big deal? And you kind of... there's a really good rumor that I've heard about Rey. There's two. Maybe three. One is she's obviously possibly a Skywalker. What are the facts? I mean, backing that, she's a great pilot. She's on a desert planet. She's in tune with the Force. I mean, everything's there. Second option, Obi-Wan Kenobi's granddaughter. So there's a whole history of Obi-Wan Kenobi that will be explored in the new comic book. What happened to him within those 18 years with Luke Skywalker? He's watching Luke. He was told to stay away from Luke as a child. What happened in between? Did he find someone? Did he meet somebody? He was no longer technically a Jedi.
yeah, and even then, they kind of play off of that. In the Clone Wars, the TV series, they reveal that he would have left the Order as a Jedi because he was falling in love during that time.
Could have been that woman.
Maybe. There's
alien.
literally a whole galaxy.
Did they ever introduce who it was?
Yeah, she was there. I don't remember exactly who it was, but like he admits that he would have left for her.
Yeah, see, so then that's
So
great.
if he would have strayed when the Order was still put together, chances are he wouldn't have felt bad doing anything else when it wasn't.
So it's still possible. What if he left to Jakku at some point, met somebody, and
There's a whole long
There's a whole debate. Like, I've also heard, and I'm actually kind of cool with this, that she's actually maybe related to Snoke or someone that's evil.
Okay.
And she went to the light side while Kylo Ren went to the dark side.
That's a cool
I kind of like that. I mean, but of course, like, there's no evidence. We're not going to know for sure.
The best one I heard before we move forward is she is a reincarnation.
I didn't like that one. Of
No?
Luke Skywalker?
No,
Or-
Luke's still alive.
or
Anakin.
like she was
Oh,
born
She's
in
another
a-
virgin child.
Yeah.
And she was abandoned or sold.
Possibly. I've also heard that she's a clone of Luke Skywalker.
That's another one.
I
But
don't
there's so many
those-
ways.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm also going to say this. Before episode 7 came out, everything got way overcomplicated. Everyone was like just theorizing left
Yeah.
and right. What's this? What's that? Who's this?
And you
And
know what's funny
it's
is that
very simple story.
Exactly.
Very simple.
Star Wars is a simple story. It's not a super complicated plot line.
It's basically just good versus evil
Yeah,
at the most
and
plain
The
form.
script for episode 8 was complete, but now it's being rewritten. So what if they're taking in some fans' theories?
Well, I've also heard that the reason it's being rewritten is because they want to give a bigger role to Rey, Finn, and Poe.
Oh, they got more popular than they thought.
Because
they
they
would.
got way more popular,
Which is
And
good. They're new characters.
Yeah, that's
what I
I
wanted.
loved Poe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Poe
And
needs
Poe-
a really big role.
Did
'cause
you hear that episode 8 also got pushed back?
Yeah,
to
Yes.
December. Which
I'm
is
kind of hoping they get released every December.
I kind of
down
think
with
too.
that.
I'm good with
like
that.
it was a kind of a double-edged sword. Like, obviously, I want it to be good, and I want them to take the time on it. But it was also this year we're getting Rogue One, and it would have been cool for just a couple months later to get Episode 8 so quick. I mean, I'll wait the year, but it would have been cool.
I'm okay with them pushing it back. If it makes for a better movie, then I'd rather... Then it's something also to look forward to in December.
That's true.
Sometimes there's nothing to look forward to at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And then you go into January, February, where it's just crap for the most part.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait till...
I'd rather them push it back.
That's true.
I mean, this year I can't wait till March comes around.
Oh, yeah.
There's a whole lot going on this year.
Batman
just
v
comic book
Superman.
movies.
It's going to be a great year.
And it's only the start of it.
Speaking of Suicide Squad, this trailer dropped. Its first official trailer. Mm-hmm. The other one you can say is a teaser. And it was more like a leaked trailer because
it wasn't supposed to be released.
It was never supposed to be released. But this first official trailer blew my mind.
It was really good.
I loved it
the
so
Joker
much.
gives me... I mean, it looks way better on the Joker. He looks way more psycho. They're paying like tribute to some of the comic books with the tuxedo. And
the tuxedo.
Yeah.
Oh.
That alone, just that
He's
image
shooting.
of him. That he has a. Did you notice he has a gold AK-47?
Yeah.
So kind of like in David Ayer's last movie, End of Watch, they find a gold AK-47.
Yep.
It seems like
He's
got
gonna
a
be
little
a lot
bit
of
of
friend
right.
zone, so it's probably gonna be like
But-
a Fury kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. So I loved it.
They even did a cut for specifically Harley Quinn. I think a fan made it. It was a long trailer cut of whatever footage has been released of Harley Quinn. It's cool.
What was your favorite part of the Suicide Squad trailer?
Dang.
Other than like the music, and I thought the music was dead on.
You know what? I love the tone that they're going with, the neon colors.
Yeah.
I don't know why. The neon colors give it like a mood.
Especially because like the general like thing of it, it looks dark around everything else but the characters.
Exactly. But like as far as like a specific part of the trailer, there's so much going on.
There's a lot going on in the trailer.
I don't know. It has to be the Joker shooting that AK.
There's like two scenes that I like really stuck out to me, which was I guess you can call it like the baptism of Harley Quinn.
Right. Oh yeah, he jumps in for her.
Where she's in the vat of acid, and he's like getting her up.
And you see the colors.
You see the colors. Those I just realized that the purple / pinkish part was from his shirt. And the blue, you see her like in a quick little snip where she's wearing a blue shirt. I'm guessing this is when they push her in, and it's her shirt being dissolved, and so like and then it kind of like forms this heart around them. It's like a sick twisted heart. I loved it though. Also, the very very end of the trailer where it's like half a second. She like sees something and then she like takes off her jacket and then she jumps onto this rope.
Oh, and she swings.
I don't know why, but I love that.
That looks cool.
I love that.
Yeah, it's weird.
It made me feel like Indiana Jones or like something more adventurous.
How about the part where she breaks the glass and bends over and
just to get the little handbag?
Yeah, just
that was pretty funny.
Just the perfect angle. And and she's like, "We're bad guys."
That's what we do.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
What about you? What was your favorite part?
My favorite part of it, probably just seeing Jai Courtney. Actually, he seems like he's gonna really own the.
He totally stole the show in this trailer.
And I know a lot of people have been saying it too, but it's true. Seeing him, the trailer overall, it kind of caught me off guard at first because the Comic-Con one was totally serious. There was no jokes or anything involved in it. You pretty much, and this one, it really blows it up to a grander scale.
It tells you what the mood is supposed to be for this movie.
And it's going to be kind of like a mixture of the both.
Yeah.
And the comparison a lot of people are getting is Guardians as far as the way the soundtrack is.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be more like that as far as reception goes.
I didn't get that at all when I first saw it.
Yeah.
But then a lot of people have been saying Guardians.
Jai Courtney was cool. What was that scene? He's backing up and he's like drinking something.
Yeah. Oh, he had like a beer. That was funny.
Yeah. Enchantress looks really sweet.
She looks like Pigpen.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. Pigpen, yeah.
Is it a live action
It's
Pigpen?
just like a brown cloud around her.
The theory that a lot of people are saying is that Slipknot is going to be the one whose head goes boom in the movie. Just because he's kind of a character not really many people know about in the first place. Yeah. He's kind of expendable.
He's also an actor who's not super well known.
Yeah.
Adam Beach. He's been in a couple things. It sucks because it's good that they actually have they have like something from everyone. Like you have a Hispanic dude, which is El Diablo, played by Jay Hernandez. Then you have Adam Beach, who's a Native American. So
yeah, he's gonna go.
But it sucks because
Yeah,
like I wish
so.
I wish it would be a little more diverse.
Yeah, and
but yeah, I agree with
it has
you.
a well-rounded, and plus
I
like
definitely agree with
he's
you.
a
I
little bit
think
more
he's gonna-
expendable, and someone's head's got to go off.
Yeah.
Killer Croc looks pretty awesome too.
Yeah, and
That's
especially like seeing him actually eating, like he's actually eating
he's
people.
kind of scary
That-
now that I see it.
That's the one complaint I've heard a lot from other people,
The design?
especially like Carlos. He's like, I don't like the way he looks.
Well,
It's
see,
not-
when they
I
first
loved
released
it personally.
when they first released the images, I wasn't a fan either. I was kind of
true.
he's kind of
true.
weird looking, but when
Yeah.
you see him in action, you're
And
like,
it happened
oh,
a lot,
that's
and it
kinda
happened a lot
cool,
with
man.
Joker too in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like one of the first things I was afraid of when I saw just the Joker still was that they were taking all of like the character traits of Joker and turning them into his tattoos. Like guy has the
Yeah.
big smile here, and instead of having an actual big smile,
right.
all like the laughing. All that. I was afraid that they were just making tattoos visual.
Well, the thing that they're
Okay.
gonna play with on the Joker too is he's gonna have like a ton of riches. He seems
Yeah.
like he's gonna be like a famous guy or something. Like he has like a lot of
Yeah.
money and
It seems like
cars
that.
and jewelry.
It seems
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah, and I
So,
was
I
super
don't know.
worried about that. But after seeing him pull off the role, and first I was thinking it's Jared Leto. He really gets into his roles.
Oh yeah, he's good.
And so after seeing him do it, I thought, okay, if there's anyone that's gonna do it at this point in time, it's him.
I just hope he's a good enough villain. I mean, he's a great villain, but going up against the Suicide Squad solo, it seems
Well,
pretty
that's
crazy.
also if they're going up.
If
Yeah.
no, there's something else. in
I've
the
heard,
subway.
I've seen. Oh, so that looks like it might be Tattoo Man, which is
Oh.
played by Common.
Oh,
That's right, yeah,
okay,
Common.
that's right.
So it seems like it's gonna be squad versus squad, actually.
That's cool.
Because you never see Enchantress in any of the pictures with the squad.
Yeah, you do.
No,
She's in
not
the,
in the trailers.
Oh, not in the trailer.
Not in the
No, not in the trailers. Like
She is in Washington.
She's in Washington. It looks like she's got it looks like Joker's using her to do this other thing. So it looks like it's Rick Flag, Slipknot, Deadshot, Katana, and Killer Croc and Harley Quinn. That's one squad.
Yeah.
The other side, it looks El Diablo too, but
Yeah,
but
that's
it
a
looks
large
like
cast.
it looks like
Think about
it
That's
is
a
a
huge
big
cast.
cast. But on this other side, it looks like it's the Joker who created his own squad of villains up
I didn't
against
think
these
about
other
that.
villains.
And then I want to see, even if it's a very small part, I want to see how Batman's role plays into all of it.
I think,
Right.
I'm
Where's
thinking
he
it might be a
coming in?
flashback of some kind.
You think so? No, because maybe because he is riding
Perhaps.
on top of that Lamborghini.
And Harley Quinn's in the car.
Yeah.
You know what? I think
Might
there's
just
gonna be multiple flashbacks in this.
Maybe.
Because you're
I'm
gonna
gonna-
see how Harley Quinn became Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put my money on like they're gonna show Harley Quinn's origin first, and then maybe there's a Batman thing. Maybe Harley Quinn gets caught, and that's how she ends up in the
yeah,
jail.
and she's really focused on in the trailer, so it might be
Yeah.
like more her story, like kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy is
Maybe-
an ensemble cast, but it's Peter Quill's story.
Yeah,
Suicide
yeah.
Squad might be along the same, not to draw the same comparison.
Well, see, and then the headliner is Will Smith.
Yeah,
He's the headline name because he's the biggest name, I guess you can say. So I mean, I think they're gonna do a pretty even play on each character.
yeah.
But I think it's gonna concentrate a lot on Joker and Harley Quinn, and then it's maybe Joker betrays her at the beginning of the film at some point, and that's why she ends up in jail. Maybe that's why she joins the Suicide Squad to get back.
Yeah,
at
which
Joker.
ends up kind of making a lot of sense too. Like especially with Will Smith and Margot Robbie having a focus. They did a movie together, a little bit of chemistry. But not only that, but Harley and Deadshot, known for having history throughout the comics, throughout the Assault on Arkham movie.
Oh, yeah.
They've had history before, and they could translate over to this pretty easily, I think.
But yeah, so overall, I'm excited. Like I was excited. Now I'm getting more towards ecstatic. I'm really looking forward to
And
it.
I think one of the things that makes me most excited about it is one of my biggest problems, not necessarily problems, but I guess gripes about the way DC films go is that Marvel had Marvel Studios. That's them making their own film, with Disney kind of being the powering behind it.
Yeah.
Disney was always doing, no, not Disney. DC was always doing DC films through Warner Brothers.
Yep.
Now they just launched the DC films, so they're literally mirroring it to where they kind of have their own,
Exactly.
way more freedom than through a second party.
And I see it with more of a darker tone. They even released and I'm still on the fence about Wonder Woman, but they released some footage already from the Wonder
Right.
Woman film. So I'm kind of like, okay, she's riding on horseback, she arrives in the city, she has these disguises. I'm like, okay, we'll see how it plays out. I mean, it's Wonder Woman's been the hardest character to tackle in a long time.
There's
They
so
couldn't
much
even
to her.
do a show. I mean, it's bad.
Right.
Yeah.
So
The Amazon show. That's right. There's so much to her.
they tried. Yeah. But I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a great year for DC, and I think it's time that they give Marvel a run for its money. So
Yeah.
it's going to be cool.
So yeah, Suicide Squad looks really awesome. Definitely like the one thing that I was not expecting whatsoever. It just kind of like came out and kicked you in the face. You know?
Even just the lineup in general, seeing like the way they're setting up like a Justice League universe.
Oh, right.
So you have like Batman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Green Lantern Corps, Suicide Squad.
Oh, right.
Like, it's just kind of like it's a.
Suicide Squad was just a random film
It's
that I
probably
did
just
not
a
expect.
Yeah.
Right.
Compared to all the rest of the lineup, and it's probably kind of to test the waters on their quote unquote like less unpopular characters.
Mm-hmm.
And
True,
then,
yeah.
Batman vs Superman coming up is going to be pretty crazy.
And it seems like there's way more to that movie than we thought.
I'm actually still excited about Batman. Like, although
Well, what's the symbol?
I'm getting a little bit of fatigue of Batman versus Superman.
I think I feel like they started off going in the right direction as far as the trailers.
Yeah.
Then
That one trailer with Doomsday.
they dropped the one trailer with Doomsday, and it was like, okay, come on.
To me, it felt more like a short film than a trailer.
Yeah, well, not even just that. They already threw the whole verses out the window and
Yeah.
said they're gonna team up. We know that, but don't show it to
But
us.
it's like we know that, but
And
the
I feel
general
like
audience.
Right.
and then they did, and then now they're doing backtracking, and they're trying to get us to forget about it.
Yeah.
And they're showing new trailers that are like, oh, versus.
Yeah.
Teasers on like TV spots. They're like, oh, Batman's like, I'm the one that's gonna take them out and stuff. There's some really cool teasers now, and I'm kind of getting back in the mood.
The teasers are awesome. Like
Yeah.
these last couple ones that I've seen
Yeah.
are awesome. Especially like the Batman one,
Uh-huh.
where he's telling Alfred that if there's even a 1% chance that he can kill
The
like,
entire human race.
Yeah, we need to take him out.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, dude,
Yeah.
this.
I've kind of avoided like these things like that too, just so I don't get
Oh,
burnt out
yeah,
and like catch on too
makes
much.
sense.
Just
Well,
because
there's
of the
also-
Doomsday trailer.
Well, yeah.
I think I just don't want to have any more of that happen for it because the first trailer's got me excited for it.
And then they released some new images coming up, and I'm not sure which magazine, but Batman standing in the desert for that desert scene.
Oh, probably Empire, I think it was.
Yeah,
Oh, I
probably
think so,
Empire.
yeah.
But there's in the desert, there's the Doomsday symbol.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's like the Omega.
It's
Yeah,
the Omega
yeah,
symbol,
yeah.
so you're like, oh man. So they're already setting up everything for Justice League because
Yeah,
Justice
yeah,
League
yeah.
is the next film after this.
Well,
After Wonder Woman.
Suicide. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's this one, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman,
and
then Justice League.
League.
Or maybe
Does
vice
Justice
versa.
League come out next year?
It's in two
Next
parts.
year.
Isn't Justice League in two parts as well?
Might be 2 parts.
Yeah.
I think it is 2 parts.
Wait, but it comes out next year.
I think it's next year already.
Dang, that's fast.
Might be next year. I'll double check that. But yeah, so how about what else can we talk about? Did anyone watch Jessica Jones?
I did.
I finished it finally.
Okay, thoughts?
I loved it.
Loved it.
I loved it.
Okay.
Okay, I
On
took
We've
me,
kind of had a couple like
it took me
interactions with
forever
it.
because I had started watching it a few months back, and then I stopped like at episode 6 or 7, and then over the holidays, I finally just finished it.
Yeah.
And I will say that it got better, and I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't love it though.
I was in the same position because I started off strong. I was like, this is cool. Awesome Luke Cage. Perfect Luke Cage, man.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna kill it. And then it got into, there was definitely the violence it needed, everything. But it turned more girl drama, too much for me. I don't know. At some point I got it got dull. And then I was like, and it took me a while, but I was like, I have to finish it. And then I started picking up, and I started seeing more Kilgrave and what he can do, and I'm like, oh shit, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And then it finally got to the ending. I'm like, oh, awesome, perfect. It
Yeah.
was great. It was
Yeah.
good.
I
So, I'm looking
ended
forward to
up
the next
loving the ending, but overall as a show, I don't know if I loved it. Definitely not better than Daredevil for me.
Dude, I'm just
No way.
freaking stoked about Punisher. Like,
Dude, that's gonna be cool.
Yes.
And they said Punisher was so good that he's probably gonna get his own
Like
freaking
solo
Netflix show.
series, yeah.
And he wasn't even on the slate.
That's awesome.
So I mean, we've been waiting for a good Punisher. There's never been a good Punisher. Like you can say,
What are you talking about? The one with Dolph Lundgren? You don't think that's a good one?
Oh dear.
Have you ever
dear.
seen that one?
well, you know what? The best
that one is
one
bad.
was the short Thomas Jane film that they
Oh,
The Dirty
did.
Laundry.
Dirty Laundry.
Yeah,
That's probably the
Dirty
best
Laundry.
Daredevil, best Punisher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one
Short film.
and it's crazy because what everyone wanted for Punisher was Frank Grillo.
oh
Yeah.
right.
He's doing Crossbones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
He could have
Crossbones
been a good
is
Punisher too.
Yeah.
But
After
is it
seeing him
Crossbones
in
kind of like a mix between
somewhat, yeah. After seeing him, I think it was The Purge Anarchy. I was thinking like this guy would be a good Punisher.
What do you guys feel about what do you guys feel about the new X-Men Apocalypse movie?
I don't love the trailer. I'm excited for the movie, but the trailer didn't do it for me.
It hasn't done any justice for you.
The trailer really hit his face a lot. If you noticed that,
I really wanted a different voice for him because
I don't even remember it.
I can hear Oscar Isaac in it.
I don't
know.
I mean, that's the reason. Like the trailer's not memorable whatsoever. That I don't even remember what it sounds like.
And I'm just remembering all sorts of stuff. How about this other piece of Marvel news? A new rumor that surfaced about Thor Ragnarok. Anyone read it?
What was it about?
Okay, so there's a rumor about Thor Ragnarok because the Hulk is going to be in this.
Right.
There's rumor that at some point in the film, Thor ends up on this alien planet and has to battle it out in a gladiator arena.
So
and
World War Hulk.
he bumps in, and then the final opponent is the Hulk.
So that's where it's going to come out.
Yeah. So then it's going to stem from Thor Ragnarok. Hulk's still not going to get his own solo film, but he's going to find Hulk there, and they're going to have to duke it out in this arena.
That's interesting.
So I'm like, that's
it's like
a
a
cool
soft
way.
Planet Hulk.
Well,
like a
the
Mars
reason-
kind of thing.
soft one.
Because
the reason they can't even do a solo Hulk film is because the rights for the Hulk
Still with Universal.
is still Universal.
Yeah.
And I don't know
They can
how
do a
that
Spider-Man
happened.
split.
I don't know how that happened. But
And they already released the first photo with, not in costume, but of Holland in
on like it's
Peter
like
Parker
a
mode.
Quinjet kind of like
Really?
He's on the Quinjet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I
there's a
haven't
cool
seen that.
rumor to that one too. There's a
What?
cool rumor about Peter Parker. There's a little like Easter egg in the first, I want to say the first Iron Man film, where there's a little kid pretending to be Iron Man, and then Iron Man comes and saves the day or something, right? I can't remember which Iron Man it was. Might have been the first one. They're saying that kid was Peter Parker when he was little because in this film he's 15, and Shield has tabs on all potential superheroes. Peter Parker grew up with Tony Stark being his hero, not a mentor yet, but his hero. So Iron Man comes to recruit him and says, "Hey, we know about you. You have amazing powers. I have a suit of spider armor for you. Do you want to join our side for the Civil War?" And Peter Parker being the biggest, Peter Parker being the biggest fan of Tony Stark can't say no to his idol, so he joins that
That's
side.
interesting.
That all makes sense.
I kind of
too.
like that.
That's
It's pretty cool because
interesting.
that's one of those things that like they didn't even plan ahead for that, but it works out pretty good if it does.
It works out perfect. And there's already rumor of casualties. I don't know if people want to hear about the casualties. They seem a little obvious based on the trailer.
Oh, War Machine.
And they're also saying not just War Machine.
That might be like a swerve.
Captain America.
No.
Ooh.
His buddy, Falcon.
Oh, Falcon. I hope not.
I love Anthony Mackie as Falcon.
Dude, especially with all the stuff with the Oscars right now. You don't want to do that.
Don't kill off the two black guys.
The only two black guys in the thing.
No, there's still Black Panther.
Oh, okay.
Who's getting his
one
own leading
more.
role
Biggest role. One of the
Okay.
biggest roles.
with the same.
Either way,
director
though,
as
that's
Creed.
it, though.
And there's some cool promo art too, where it's Hawkeye, and he shoots.
And Ant-Man's
Oh,
on there.
Ant-Man's on-
That's
yeah.
the one thing I want out of this
That
movie.
looks sick. They're gonna have some cool stuff, man.
Yeah, and they did that in the Earth's Mightiest Heroes like cartoon.
Yeah.
And you just see him go through windows and then just enlarge up and just deck a
Yeah.
guy.
And
That's,
then,
that's
like,
the one thing I want out
Dude,
of
the
the movie.
Russo brothers, I have no doubts in them. Like, as directors, from seeing what they did with Winter Soldier, what they could do with Civil
Especially
War.
seeing them do Winter Soldier coming from, was it Community, right?
Yeah.
And even Arrested Development.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
And
I mean,
so
seeing
seeing them go transition, like they have a really good idea. And they're almost kind of taking over like the role of, they're doing Avengers Infinity War, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
both
they're
of
doing
them.
And they're also...
That might be a bad thing, though.
It could
Because you see
be
Joss
massive.
Whedon, that, like, after 2 movies, he's, like,
Burnt
done.
At the same time, there's two Russo brothers.
That's true.
It's
That's
just,
true.
that's half the
Oh,
load.
there you go. So you get 4 movies out of that.
We figured it out here right now.
Yeah,
And then
okay.
they even said, asked him during an interview, what other character would you like to do a solo film for? And they said, we'd do Black Widow if we could.
Yeah.
I was like, they would kill it with Black Widow or even a Hawkeye film. I mean, it would be awesome.
Yeah.
So that looks cool. And then Ryan Coogler getting Black Panther director role.
I love Ryan Coogler.
And I feel like all this is happening because they did away with, I think it's like a panel that they had to go through for as far as like a storyboard panel, and it's just them working out. Like they got Scott Derrickson for Doctor Strange. Like every
That's right.
like big
from
names.
Sinister, right?
Yeah.
And Emily Rose.
Yeah, and then with Benedict Cumberbatch, like they're getting big names of big people. I think it's
You know, yeah,
like,
especially
to do
Doctor
these
Strange.
movies.
Doctor Strange has like one of the best casts I've ever seen. It's Tilda Swinton, Cumberbatch, and Ejiofor, Chiwetel Ejiofor. Him alone,
like these are kind of things that wouldn't have happened even when you have like compare castings and everything else up until now. They're good, but these are great.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
These are great.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like without
These are all like Academy Award
Yeah.
winning top level.
yeah, and with
you know?
eliminating that step of like the storyboard group where they had to kind of go bounce ideas back and forth with, and they kind of have the free reign to just do what they want to do now with the people that they want to do.
But we also got to think about Deadpool.
And then there's Deadpool.
I am so excited.
That's
for
the next
Deadpool.
superhero movie coming
Yeah.
out.
And that
February.
only comes out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So that's
Like-
going to be, and everyone's already said that they've had a surprise test
the-
screening.
yeah.
Everyone loved
Yeah.
it.
As a-
Perfect Deadpool.
Yeah, as of recording this, it's like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am super stoked about
This thing
that.
has Hall of Fame level marketing too.
Yeah,
Oh,
it does.
yeah.
Man, like Australian Day
That's-
or whatever they're
That's
doing.
that's gonna be our next pod stash is gonna be really talking about Deadpool.
Yeah,
in preparation of the movie coming out.
yeah.
But yes, the marketing for this thing
It's
is
pretty
amazing.
intense.
Especially like looking at those the emoji banner.
billboard?
Yeah.
Have you seen that
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
The
Yeah, I think what I read was
Deadpool. Elf.
I think what I read was that it's the same billboard that was rented out, and they just swap it out as it comes through. So that's where you saw like the romantic comedy billboard,
yes.
where it's like True Love Never Dies, and it just has Ryan Reynolds on it.
That's oh man, I love it. Like I even if the movie sucks, I think just the whole marketing alone
and like
is amazing.
yeah, no, it's crazy about a thing like Deadpool is that even if the movie sucks, it probably will for all the right reasons too.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it can be as cheesy as it wants to be because that's what Deadpool is.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of leniency.
Oh
in
well,
it.
have you guys seen that whole petition to make it PG-13?
Yeah, fuck that.
No, seriously,
That's a thing.
because it's not just no one who's like creating this thing. It's freaking Grace Randolph.
Yeah.
Like one person who I kind of respected at one point,
Kind
and
of.
then after a while, she stopped becoming logical and reasonable, and just started rambling, and I just really got turned off by her. And so she puts this petition out for this little 8-year-old kid to watch Deadpool. Why?
Have they read the
Why?
comic books? Do they know how violent it is?
Yeah,
I
no,
mean-
like even if you were to take out the cussing, the nudity, and all that,
Yeah.
and even the blood, it's still super violent.
Yeah.
Like why?
Like the only way that would have worked in the first place is if they made a PG-13 movie from the get-go.
Right.
You can't recut
even
a
then,
movie
though,
that's like
I don't want to see that happen. Why would they want to see that happen?
yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
The other thing that we need to get into is the Oscars.
Ah,
Oscars
The
so
Oscars.
white.
It's coming.
So the
coming.
hashtag Oscars so white. I mean, let's talk about that.
okay, so there's a whole problem, right, with the Oscars being so white, where this is the second year in a row where everyone nominated is literally just been white people.
Yep.
Although it's not, I don't feel like it's the Oscars' fault. It's really the movies that are being made not searching for diverse cast.
That's exactly what I want to agree with because, and then they even asked Michael Caine about it. They interviewed Michael Caine, and then Michael Caine said, they shouldn't adjust the rules for, and he didn't say it in any kind of racist way. He just said, you get nominated based on your acting. You get
Right.
nominated based on your directing. That's just the way it is. Ryan Coogler's a great director, but it didn't make the cut.
Right.
It's just that simple.
And I mean, I haven't seen all the films, but from just critic rating and all that, they seems like they liked all these other films over Creed or Straight Outta Compton or you know what I mean?
Everything that's there could be justified
Right.
being there.
And
a lot of
I-
it can be can
now
be justified.
the real question is, how do you fix this problem? Is you instead of picking out from 10 people who are white for this potential casting decision, you need to at least have some diversity in there.
Yeah.
It all starts in the writing room.
Yeah, it really, you can't really fault the Academy for picking movies that are all there, but the best ones just happen to have all white people. It's really like the filmmakers themselves who really need to change that. Because you watch, well, I mean, I haven't seen it, but like The Big Short, it's literally all white people in that movie. The other film, what's the other, Spotlight. Even though it's a true story.
I'm saying a lot of these movies that are nominated are true stories. These true stories had white people.
So you can't really blame the Academy for not nominating. Like, I would argue that I think Straight Outta Compton should have been nominated for not just the writing, because that's all it got. I think it should have been nominated maybe for cinematography. I thought was really good.
Even
maybe
Creed.
the best picture. That too.
Creed had great cinematography.
And see, I feel like those should have been nominated for some of those awards. Yet it only got a writing.
And Michael B. Jordan's a great actor, but not to be best actor.
He did not. He wasn't the best actor.
Sylvester Stallone did really good.
Yeah.
So I really hope he gets.
I can't fault the Academy Awards for picking all the white people, because that's all there was.
And then the funny thing about it is they're trying to, if they are really so white, they have a black host. They have Chris Rock.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is, Chris Rock already made an announcement saying, "I'm gonna address it. I'm gonna be the one to talk about Oscars So White. I'm the only black guy here. Is gonna be almost everyone.
Who better to talk about it? In that case,
better
really.
to talk about it, man. He's perfect.
The president of the Academy Awards at the moment, she put into place this change. Have you guys read this?
She placed the changes. Yeah.
I do like this actually. Over the next 4 years, they're basically going to be going more diverse in their voting party. That way, you can't say that it's like all the Academy Awards are all white, old white.
As long as everyone's not biased, because I don't want to have some blacks, some Mexicans, some whites
going for their.
I don't want that at all. So I still want them to pick the best film. Yeah. If it happens to all be white people again, I'm not gonna cry about it.
Yeah, because that's what they chose. It's simple.
But having a because movies are enjoyed all around the world.
Oh yeah.
Why not have an entire global input into it instead?
Yeah.
So
it's just everyone's so damn sensitive these days, man. I'm like so tired of it.
And right now, movies are kind of pandering more towards like a Chinese audience in the first place too, to try to get into that market, because that's almost
a huge.
Lately, it's been a huge thing.
Yeah, we're tapping into all their stories. We're making Ghost in a Shell. We're doing. Yeah. I mean, they're making these big budget movies based on films from overseas.
Yeah, even like other franchises successful. Like, say what you want about Transformers, it's a successful franchise.
Yeah.
In the latest movie, they heavily catered to that market.
Yep.
Just with the way the character models were in the first place. So that's kind of people that they weren't reaching out to in the first place that they're getting to now. So it's getting there.
Yeah. And we also have to go over the nominees. I mean, we can go over some of like the basic, the big ones, and then we can kind of decide who do we think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, we didn't see all these films.
Yeah, looking at that list made me realize how much I haven't seen yet.
Yeah. So these will be very biased picks because of
the amount of movies we've
just
seen.
The amount of movies we got to see. So, I guess we could start off with the best supporting cast. Let's do that and then build up.
Okay, let's see. Where is it? Oh, we can even do cinematography first.
Okay,
yeah, we'll do that.
Cinematography. We got Carol, The Hateful Eight, Mad Max: Fury Road, The Revenant, and Sicario.
All right, so I've only seen 2 of those movies.
Same here.
I've seen 4 of those. I haven't seen Carol, but I saw Hateful Eight, Mad Max, Revenant, and Sicario. Amazing cinematography in all of them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Sicario's out. I'm gonna say Mad Max is out.
Really?
I'm gonna say it's out.
The Revenant was really good.
Revenant was amazing. And based on the conditions they had, the filming they were able to get in that atmosphere, it's like, man, how is that not going to take it? How is he not going to take that award again?
And they only shot in natural light.
Yeah, all natural light.
So I'm except for the scenes where there's fire. They had to add.
And I thought Hateful Eight had amazing. But I'm saying all of them had amazing cinematography. I just think The Revenant's going to take it.
I think so. I think the Revenant's it's the year of the Revenant.
Not seeing it, but seeing plenty of previews for it. It looks amazing. the cinematography does. Just even like there's a scene where he's on a horse, but the camera's literally like on the horse with him almost.
Yeah.
That looked amazing. So
That's hard.
just on that alone, I would agree with your choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we all kind of go on that. Okay.
Yeah.
Animated feature film. I'm excited that Animalisa's on it because it's R-rated.
I heard it was good. I heard it was really good.
Going up against the likes of Inside Out. So,
Ooh,
interesting.
and I loved Inside
Shaun the
I
Sheep.
was whatever.
Really?
I think I just hated sadness so much.
Shaun the Sheep made
I heard it was great.
when Marnie was there, and Boy and the World. I'm gonna lean towards, of course, Inside Out. Yes, sadness was a little.
Oh, it
crazy.
got to me. So
I got
bad.
emotional though. I mean, I
Oh.
took my daughter.
Yes.
She was only she's going to be 2, so she was only a year and maybe 7 months
Yeah.
when we saw it. You know, you expect a baby to go crying and whining. We sat there. She looked at it and she felt sadness. Like she cried, but she wasn't yelling, screaming. She was like emotional, and we were like, "Are you okay?" And she was like, and she would lean, and we're like, "Oh man, like touch the kid that barely understands the movie, but she's pretty smart for her age." I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna say Inside Out, even though I really haven't seen a lot of the other ones. So yeah,
I agree with that. I also got emotional during, especially what's it called? The elephant.
Bing bong.
that was
like the saddest thing
when he disappeared.
ever.
When he's in the pit.
Yeah, no kid. Yeah,
It was
no,
bad.
seriously though, that was awesome. That was a great movie for me.
So are you on the same page on those? What are you thinking?
I haven't seen any. Inside Out was the only one I saw, and I wasn't too stoked on it coming out of it. I think I went into it more excited than it was coming out.
I did see a lot of like the workings, like behind the scenes of Animalisa, and like the details they went through to create all the characters, and I really need to see the movie because it just looks like it's so much work.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see that too.
Actress in a supporting role:
Okay.
Jennifer Jason Leigh in The Hateful Eight. She was crazy. Rooney Mara in Carol. Rachel McAdams in Spotlight. Alicia Vikander, The Danish Girl, and Kate Winslet, Steve Jobs.
I didn't see any of these movies.
I really want to say Jennifer Jason Leigh. I mean, she was psychotic. Holy crap, she was evil in that movie, man.
She hasn't been in anything in a long time.
A long time. So, I mean, just coming into a role like this out of nowhere, I was like, whoa.
You still got it.
Yeah, I was blown away. So.
I heard Kate Winslet was really good. Mm-hmm. I didn't get to see Steve Jobs. So.
I heard that movie in general was just really good.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't really.
All right, we'll move on. Actor in a supporting role. It was Christian Bale, Tom Hardy, Mark Ruffalo, Mark Rylance, and Sylvester Stallone. I'm saying Sylvester Stallone. Could come down to him and Tom Hardy, but I'm gonna say Sylvester Stallone.
I also say Sylvester Stallone. I think he just gave a really heartfelt performance. It really brought it back to like the original Rocky.
Yeah.
And so I definitely I'm gonna go with him.
Yeah, and especially playing the role where he's sick. I was like, man, he still has the acting chops, man. Like,
Yeah.
Beyond Expendables, beyond
Oh yeah,
all that.
it's like he
can
came
act.
back to acting.
Yeah.
initially. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was good.
Yeah.
What do
So,
you think?
like I said, like I haven't seen Creed yet, but given what everyone had to work with, it seemed like he had a way bigger impact on the role in general. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was him.
Yep.
Okay.
Now we're coming down to
Actress.
the last 4. So main actress in the leading role: Kate Blanchett, Carol, Brie Larson, The Room, Jennifer Lawrence, Joy.
The Room.
The Room is a totally.
Sorry,
different
The Room is a horrible film. Charlotte Rampling, 45 Years, and Saoirse Ronan, Brooklyn. Of all those, I've seen Joy.
Of all those, I've seen none.
I haven't seen any either.
Okay, so I can't really say. I'm
I
just gonna say
really,
Jennifer
I
Lawrence.
just honestly don't want Jennifer Lawrence to win though. I'm kind of getting sick of her already.
What?
I am. I really am.
You're getting like
She's-
sick over exposure.
It's not just that. She has like that annoying voice. Like she just seems like very full of herself. And so I'm sick of her. Like I'm done.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Kate Blanchett took the award because she's just a great actress all around.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I had to say anything, you know what? I'm just gonna say
I've also heard from the 45.
45 years.
Yeah, I heard she owns it. So I mean,
For
I
some,
have no idea.
For some reason, my gut's saying Brie Larson.
Oh, I heard that was a great movie.
I'm gonna say she's gonna take the
I
cake.
hope so. I love Brie Larson.
Jennifer Lawrence was good in Joy. Joy was a fun movie to watch, but nothing special. So
That's what I've heard from that movie in general.
nothing
Yeah.
special. But it was good. It's like an uplifting, like you can do it entrepreneurial film. Great, but there wasn't really like character in it. So I'm just gonna say Brie Larson's gonna take the cake, even though I've never seen the movie.
All right.
Actor in the leading role: Bryan Cranston, Trumbo.
Trumbo.
Matt Damon, The Martian. Leonardo DiCaprio, The Revenant. Michael Fassbender, Steve Jobs. Eddie Redmayne, The Danish Girl. And Leo DiCaprio.
I hope it is, but I love The Martian. The Martian was amazing.
It got nominated for a comedy.
Did you see online?
Yeah.
Somebody added a laugh
That's-
track to
this
it
is-
to prove
this
that
is-
it's comedy.
This
Is
is
really?
Yeah,
This
there's
is
a cut of it.
That's
But this
awesome.
is why nobody takes the Emmys seriously.
It's not an Emmy. It's the
Or
Golden
whatever,
Globes.
the Golden Globes. Or the Emmys. But I'm saying, but the Golden Globes, nobody takes that seriously. So I don't care what they said or what. I thought that was really dumb for them to put it in that category.
I just really hope The Bear doesn't win Best Actor.
Man, I've seen this
Just so many times.
I've seen the stick.
Yeah, the stick got one. I
so
the stick.
dumb.
I saw the horse too.
Dude, but DiCaprio, he killed it,
He
man.
did so many things for that role.
I cannot see anyone beating DiCaprio. If I love Bryan Cranston, if any of these other dudes, especially Eddie Redmayne playing this guy wanting to be a girl, I really hope he doesn't take that award. I don't know why. I just don't want him to because he already played a paraplegic. I can't do it. So I want DiCaprio. I want DiCaprio to win. I want DiCaprio to take The Revenant. It's an award he deserves. He went through hell. He did things that a lot of actors don't do. Great directing, great film all
There's
around.
so many things going
Just
for that
watch
movie.
him not win.
Yeah,
Just watch him
And you know
not
what?
win. It's-
If he doesn't win, I hope he's not sore about it because he's supposed to be an actor, and he is. He's a great actor. No matter what he does, I love him and everything. I honestly think though this is the first award he deserves Best Actor for because he's done great acting before. I think the other winners were well deserved
like
over him.
Wolf of Wall Street it ended up being Dallas Buyers Club, was it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
psh,
like other things
hands
that,
down,
yeah,
bro.
you can argue that he shouldn't have
because you
had
could
that
tell
year.
DiCaprio had fun with Wall Street. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just a fun film.
Yeah.
You know? He wanted to touch girls' tits. That's all he wanted to do. He wanted to do drugs and blow into girls' asses. That's fine. This one, he ate a freaking liver or an organ, a real organ. He threw up on camera and continued to eat it for the sake of the film. He was in ice cold water. You know, he's in these horrible conditions.
He had to play those injuries and everything. Had to fight a CGI bear.
Yeah, he had to fight a CGI bear in the actual
That might have been the
woods.
hardest thing now to think about it.
He got his throat slit by who knows what. You know, he did great acting. So, DiCaprio.
I hope so too.
I wouldn't be surprised. I really think he's got it. He did so many things for the role. Even like it's going for other things like costume, makeup, all that stuff added to his role specifically too. That movie has so many pieces coming together to make a grand.
Growing that disgusting
going together.
beard. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, he hated that himself.
Yeah, so many things in that movie just fall together perfectly
Yeah.
to where I think it's gonna sweep everything, including Leo.
I think it's gonna sweep. I think
Yeah.
Revenant's gonna sweep.
I don't know about that because what's our next category?
Let's go to director.
All right.
Which that's there
I
too.
think okay.
Big Short,
This is
Mad
like-
Max, Revenant, Room, Spotlight.
I think
George Miller.
Inarritu is gonna get best director,
But who deserves
but
it?
because I don't think he's gonna get best picture.
Ouch. Okay, well let's talk about director.
Okay.
You're saying?
I haven't seen the movie, but I've just from everything I've heard from people who have the same kind of taste as I do, talk about The Revenant. It's like directed beautifully, and perfectly. So I do think he's probably gonna get that award. He got it last year, and he deserved it. And I think this year, although I haven't seen it, he probably deserves it as well.
Okay. So, what about you?
I would say so, just the choice to use natural lighting in general. He did some crazy just choices that you don't typically see anymore. Ever since since lighting in movies became a thing,
Yeah.
people use it.
Yeah.
And he chose to back away from it, and it was a really like breath of fresh air in that direction. It's something we hadn't seen before, and just location. Like he made a lot of choices that made that movie what it is.
Dang, you still gotta go see it.
Yeah,
What about
yeah.
You do.
Best Picture.
Do you think he's gonna? But do you think he's gonna win?
I think he's going to win Best Director.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's going to come down to him or George Miller.
We don't have 10 on Best Picture.
Oh, we don't have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
What? How would it not have killed him to put in Straight Outta Compton in there?
Honestly, would it not have killed him to take out 3 and just go back to 5? Like, seriously, go back to 5 fucking movies. Like, we did that, what, maybe 5 years ago we went back to 10 for some reason?
I don't know. It keeps going back
There's
and
no
forth
consistency
every year.
behind
Well,
it.
it started
I have
off
no
with
idea.
10, and, you know, when the Oscars very first started 10, then they said, let's cut it down to 5, because who gives a fuck? I'm sorry for all the cussing. But, yeah, they cut back down to 5. Now it's like, okay, let's do 10 again to give, you know, so everyone feels special. Who cares? Just go back to 5. I don't care. 5.
You're just
5,
whittling
right?
out others that wouldn't have won in the first place.
Yeah. All right, but let's
Okay, here's the list. And for some reason, it's not 10 anymore. It's 8. So, The Big Short, which is getting a lot of praise. Bridge of Spies, which should not even be in there.
Yeah. What's up?
That could have been replaced.
That could
I'm
have
not
been
gonna
replaced
lie.
with another film.
Straight Outta Compton could have been in there instead.
Yeah.
In all honesty. If you compared those two movies, Straight Outta Compton was better. Brooklyn. Haven't seen it, but I heard good things. Mad Max. Great all around.
I don't know if
Not
it's
great on the story, but it was still just...
I think it was really
respectable.
thin on the story. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
It is thin,
But it's easily digestible too. In that
I don't
aspect,
know
too.
if it really deserves a nomination for Best Picture.
I think, minus the writing, I think it deserves Best Picture. But as a sympathy vote, I think it's one of those extra out of the 5, is what I think.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to say.
And
I
you
think The Martian's on the same
and
level.
you think also because Bridge of Spies because it's Spielberg.
I think because it's
That's another
Spielberg,
sympathy vote.
I think he's kind of like, oh, he's Jewish, let's throw him in.
There's a bit of...
So, Bridge of Spies, yeah, you have Tom Hanks and Spielberg, when they team up, they're like, oh, it has to be gold. People know it wasn't that great. I mean, it was good.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, but it's not like one of those movies that deserved Best Picture.
It didn't really seem like one of those must-sees. Like,
Yeah.
when I think like The Martian, that's one of those, like, you have to make it a point to see at some point.
Yeah.
I think the 3 that were thrown in for sympathy were Bridge of Spies, Mad Max, and The Martian.
Really, The Martian?
Yes. I'm going to say The Big Short, I've heard a lot of good things. Brooklyn, I've heard a lot of good things. The Revenant, great things. Room, good things.
Okay.
Spotlight, great things.
Yeah, me too.
So those 5, I think, are the ones.
It's just not the right fit for Mad Max in that category.
Yeah, it doesn't fit.
And neither. Well, I don't know about The Martian. I really loved it. I definitely loved it way more than Mad Max.
Yes.
And I think, honestly, you can argue that if you're going to replace those 3 movies with something else, then you put in Straight Outta Compton, you put in Ex Machina,
Ex Machina probably should have been in there.
and you put
They got
in
snubbed.
what else?
There's only one category, I think.
There's
for-
a few snubs.
There's maybe not. I don't know, but Ex Machina is nowhere in this.
I think
except
it's in for one category.
for visual effects
Something
or
like
something.
that, yeah.
Which yes, it did, but I thought it was a great film. But out of this list, who do you think is going to win? The Revenant. You said it was going to sweep.
I think it's going to come down to The Revenant and Spotlight.
I agree with you, but I think Spotlight's going to take it.
Yeah, I have a feeling Spotlight might upset. I'm still gonna say Revenant, but I'm gonna see Spotlight tomorrow. So
I'm gonna make it a point to watch all these films before the Academy.
Yeah. I'll watch all the best pictures here. I've only seen Bridge of Spies, Mad Max, Revenant, and some of The Big Short. So yeah.
Fair enough. What
Yeah.
about you?
I think Big Short, from what I hear about it, it might be as the surprise winner. I wouldn't be surprised if Mad Max was like kind of just snubbed on it. I think the big one is The Revenant, though.
The Revenant.
Yeah, just there's like I said, there's so many things coming together to make that movie what it is, as cohesive as it is. That one is going to be the
I
big
can't
one.
really argue with that.
I think it's gonna sweep Revenant.
But I think The Big Short might be a surprise winner, though. Just from what I hear about it, it seems like it's a pretty strong contender for it.
Do you think Star Wars could win film editing?
What else was nominated for that?
The
Because
Big Short, Mad Max, Revenant, and Spotlight. I think Revenant might take that one too.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't
I mean,
know.
the thing with Star Wars is that it has its unique Star Wars editing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With,
I'm not
like,
a
the side
fan of.
panel, like,
I'm not a fan of
changes.
like that editing in the first place.
How about an original score from what you've heard? Because you're big on scores. This guy rides in his car, doesn't jam out to rap or anything. He puts on movie scores. So
Sometimes.
that's good.
Sometimes.
It's a theme, you know. If
If there's
it's
anyone here to talk about this category,
yeah, it's Martin.
But honestly, I don't even think I've seen or heard.
Okay, look,
any
just
of
the score:
these.
Bridge of Spies, Carol, Hateful Eight, Sicario, Star Wars.
I think they're gonna give it to Star Wars, to be honest.
Okay.
Because I think it's probably gonna be John Williams' last film he does.
you don't think he'll be back for?
No, I think he's done. He's what, 90? He's like
He's basically Snoke.
he's like oh, that's where you go. He found out who Snoke
Hey,
is.
by the way, did you hear Snoke could be Tarkin?
Tarkin?
Yeah.
I always saw that too.
You know, yeah, I did
the
hear
way
that.
his head's shaped and everything.
Yeah. Anyway, that's just
But-
we're out of that subject
Yeah, I
already.
know.
Yeah, that's messed up.
I feel like that's the one category
I
we're most
think-
qualified for.
I think
Star Wars.
if anything, next year they'll give him like a lifetime before he dies.
Visual effects: Ex Machina, Mad Max, The Martian, The Revenant, and Star Wars. I don't think Revenant.
Revenant, no.
I'm gonna have to give that one to.
Visual effects: Ex Machina.
Yep.
Ex Machina or Mad Max even might get that one. Too.
Star
yeah,
Wars.
that one's that one that could be either
Star
one.
Wars had a lot of good looking effects.
had a lot of good stuff, but I
Actually,
think
it had a lot of effects that you couldn't even tell were effects, which is
Yeah.
probably why it might.
That's the thing. The best effect is the one you don't know is
Yeah.
there.
original screenplay: Bridge of Spies, Ex Machina, Inside Out, Spotlight, and Straight Outta Compton.
I think the screenplay to Straight Outta Compton wasn't even worthy of a nomination. There's so many other things that were worthy of
That it could have
nominations,
gone for.
but not for screenplay. I
Yeah.
don't think.
Spotlight's gonna take it. Adapted:
I agree.
Big Short, Brooklyn, Carol, The Martian, or Room. I'm gonna say The Martian.
I'm gonna
The
say
Martian.
Room.
Probably.
Mr. Pro Martian here.
No, Room.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Like I've actually seen it.
All right. Well, that's all there is.
In a
really to
nutshell,
it.
we'll find out. We'll find out soon.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I know, and if you guys ever make it to the actual end of this thing, I'm sorry for all the bad things I said right now,
no.
but I really, I'm just
He's only
that's,
half
that's
sorry.
what I think. I'm half
he's
sorry.
only yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So, what's how do we do this?
I think that'll be it for this episode. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you online?
You can find me on like all sorts of places. You basically type in my name, Michael Huante, on YouTube. You're gonna see all my short films. But right now, you can go to www.facebook.com/galaxybug. Me and my wife are doing some cool shirts. I got a cool mix of X-Men and Star Wars that you should check out. Really cool. And we're selling those on Teespring and TeePublic, so you can do that. Yeah. What about you guys?
Right now, I'm just on social media. That's it. Just I guess regret following me on Twitter. /Woo Keith.
I've already regretted that. So.
Yeah, so
That's the
first
first
mistake.
time.
First mistake. I started this cool thing. I just want to kind of throw it in here. It's called a Pop in a Box. Pretty much everyone here knows what like the Funko Pops are. Those little vinyl figures. I got really big in collecting them. And there's a little subscription service. You just put in your collection. You thumbs up what you like, thumbs down what you don't like. And it's simple as that. They send you a pop that's on your list each month. It's $9.99 plus shipping. But I have a little, referral code. And it gets you 20% off your first pop. So if you want to try it out and go from there. Well, I guess we'll include that in the description below if you want to try it and look into it.
Cool.
And of course, you can find me on my own channel, Stache05. Stache05 across the board, Twitter, Instagram. But also, I did just start a
Campaign.
TeePublic, shirt store, I guess, where I have 2 shirts up right now for my production company, which is Stash House Productions. Hopefully, I'm gonna order one pretty soon, and I'll wear
order
it.
one. I'll order one.
I'm in.
Yeah. So.
We'll be stashed out next time.
So yeah, so
With
next
our
time you guys
stashes.
see us, yeah, we'll be stashed out. But of course, thank you guys for watching this episode. I don't know how long it's gone on now.
Yeah, sorry guys.
But-
It's a podcast. You tune in for random stuff, so this
Yeah.
is what happens.
But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Laters.
Bye.